Right, welcome back everybody. Let's get into question of the day and trending topics. And this morning, this will also be the focus of our interview in the next hour. This is the question that we're asking you, and it's about this alarming rate of teenage pregnancy or school pregnancy. It's just something frightening. What are your thoughts on the alarming teenage pregnancy rate of over 90,000 in the country? And it's just... this number is frightening.
It certainly is frightening, and we're talking here about basically not just teens, but pre-teens as well. We're talking from 10 to 19 years old. And again, you know, the fact that we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds pregnant is in itself.
It's like, how do you get your head around that?
A pandemic.
I mean, my daughter is 10 years old, and the thought of it, it makes me cold at the thought of something like that happening. But, you know, and this is happening everywhere, and that is probably even an unofficial number, I imagine. I can imagine it's even higher than that.
Perhaps. And you know, this is what we know across the 9 provinces. So 90,000 teen pregnancies across the country. Let us know what your thoughts are, but also, I think more importantly, let's talk about what we can do to change this. Because we cannot carry on and speak about this as something normal.
And there's so many different angles and avenues to this. I mean, whether we're talking about the older men that are preying on younger girls, and, you know, the whole thing of gifting them and doing all of this and spoiling you, and, you know, all of this in return for, and I mean, there are many angles. It's not just one problem. There are many problems associated with this. So what do we do? How do we get around this? Everywhere you go, it is a problem. And this is now, this number, if this doesn't wake us up and think, then I don't know what will.
I worry, because it's not the first time we've been here, because we have one of the highest teen pregnancy rates on the planet. That is just how bad the situation is. So let us know at Morning Live SABC. As Leanne says, we've got an interview coming up on that in the second hour. But let's get talking and perhaps move beyond talking in terms of what needs to be done about this.
All right, let's move on now for the trending topic segment. I was looking at Edwin Sodi, so I'm Toppy Sodi. No, okay. So we're not on Sodi yet. We're on Malema at the moment. What was it? There's so many things, and then you eventually pinned it down to what we think.
Well, you know,
he's right there, and so many things are being spoken about, but not one specific.
Indeed, there's a lot going on, and about the EFF, Malema, not just other parties talking about him, but I think it comes down to, in the main, the report by Times Live that Malema has called for unemployed graduate stipends with matriculants to get 1,000 rand. So basically, he's saying unemployed graduates, matriculants, should all be receiving stipends. And I suppose this speaks to the high unemployment rate among the youth in the country, because by the expanded definition, we are sitting at around 75% of youth unemployment in this country, which is beyond catastrophic. But again, like with the teen pregnancy issue, we need to start talking seriously about how we get to meaningfully engage our youth. Something needs to be done. We can't have them just sit around, these able-bodied young men and women with so much pent-up energy and nothing to do. And that's the reality, and that's a good, well, I suppose the idea that Malema's speaking to, and hopefully, who knows? You never know what might happen after that. Let's move on to Sodi, because that's our next trending topic, and this is basically a story that's come out in Sowetan Live, basically saying that 5 years after tenderpreneur Edwin Sodi's company was appointed as a consultant and project manager to build a school in Gauteng, not a single classroom has been built. The Provincial Department of Infrastructure Development of the project, the Barcelona Primary School in Etwatwa, Benoni, is at procurement stage, while the community has held several protests over the years, burning prefab classrooms, demanding a school they've been promised since 1996. That's the story. And Sodi has had a string of lucrative government contracts for years across the country, which were terminated for poor performance despite pocketing millions of rands. I think there needs to be, you know, some sort of in-depth investigation into Edwin Sodi and all the tenders that he has amassed over the years.
There's a story of this.
The ones that we know about, the asbestos tender in the Free State, the Rooiwal water treatment plant in Tshwane, and now, this, and I would imagine there are many, many, many more. But why is it that Edwin Sodi was awarded all of these tenders, and in most instances, the work was not done?
Never done. Since 1996,
where is the money?
They've been waiting.
Where is the money?
Yeah, exactly.
There needs to be more work done into this.
Oh, man.
And accountability more than anything. He needs to be held accountable. The money needs to be recovered as far as you possibly can, but there needs to be more repercussions.
Absolutely, and huge accountability on this one. Russell Simmons is the next trending topic. I know I'm jumping into you because your guest is waiting, SK. So I'm stopping you on these ones. But Russell Simmons, the next one, unfortunately, a day after Father's Day, Russell Simmons appears to be at the center of a massive family feud. On Monday, the executive shared on Instagram stories that seemed to target his ex-wife, Kimora Lee Simmons, and saying, stop telling fathers they should have fought harder to see their children, and start asking mothers why they had to fight at all. And of course, the wife, Simmons, took to her own Instagram story to share details behind the family tension, where she lobbed serious allegations against the father.
The ex-wife.
The ex-wife, well, I beg your pardon, the ex-wife. Going, I'm sorry to have to do this, she wrote, but this man has been threatening my kids' lives. I'm hearing so much more now. We won't be bullied, threatened, or afraid. Leave my kids alone, she says. This narrative of attacking the only caregiver, the only parent in the home, and the kids, the mom and the kids, for one's own shortcomings and embarrassment is dead.
And now it seems other women are also coming forward who've worked for his record company and talking about some abuse that they have suffered at his hands as well. So that's Russell Simmons' trend.
All right. And then final one, Rihanna. So she gave birth. Is that what's happened?
That's what I saw. Yes, remember she was pregnant.
She was pregnant. I don't see it. Did they say she gave birth? I don't know.
6:54 o'clock. June 19th, newborn daughter Rita Ruby Fenty.
Man. Rita Ruby.
Rita Ruby Fenty.
I thought you said Fenta. I'm like,
no,
what?
Fenty.
Rita
No,
Ruby
you know
Fenta?
her brand, Fenty?
Yes, Fenty.
Yeah.
No, I heard Fenta though, but I'm just like, wow, she really...
I don't know where Fenta came from.
It came from my ears, but anyway. Oh, that's so cute. There we go. Is that the little girl or the
No, that's
boy?
That's the son. That's the little boy, yeah.
Okay. Well done to the family, and we wish them all the best for Rihanna giving birth there. Okay,
Absolutely.
we got to get to your next guest now. Interesting conversation, SK.
Indeed, and we are going to speak to the CEO of XA Global Trade Advisors, Donald McKay, about government extending its ban on scrap metal export.